This is the Professional Stepdad, a place where we share stories, strategies, and ideas for men just like you to help answer that one important question: how can I be a better stepdad?
Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I am your host, Franco Zavala, episode 54. I'm going to jump right into it because I want to talk about this conversation I had today with a gentleman by the name of Taos Hayes, who has his own podcast and his own show called the Cardigan Cowboy. Interesting two words put together. He's got such an amazing concept. He's got great ideas. His overall objective for the show is going to be something that it just hits it out of the park. But more important, he's built this following and he's built this interest in his show without doing much marketing or much work. I mean, it's just already kind of naturally taken off. So I want to talk about this conversation I had with him today. But before I do so, please, if you have not yet, please like, subscribe, share. Yeah, like, subscribe, share. Obviously, the bigger the platform, the more stepdads that I can reach. If this is your first time on the show, I thank you for joining us. If you have not, go back to the welcome episode, kind of get a feel of what the show is about, and then kind of catch up to where we are now. Basically, what I do is I go over the last 10 years of me being a stepdad, all the do's, the don'ts, the ins, the outs, the routines, the habits, everything that I've done that can help you, stepdad, whether you are fresh or you are seasoned, kind of navigate your way through this amazing journey that we're on. Okay, so conversation I had with Taos, again, was long. It was very descriptive. We went into a lot of deep information about his show and about what he's trying to accomplish. But he said something to me today, which is the reason why I'm making this episode now. And this is what he said. He said that he's in the age range, he's 31. He's in the age range where he considers himself more likely to be a stepdad as opposed to just being a dad. And it kind of like, it stuck in the back of my mind. I was at the gym, I thought about it, and I wanted to talk about it because I was just, I mean, it brings a new awareness to me that there is an age range where men probably are more likely to be stepdads than they are to be biodads after a certain age. And it kind of just blew my mind because I'm thinking that I'm speaking to men that either already are stepdads or dating somebody with a kid. They're about to be a stepdad. But I never thought about like that age range for men out there who haven't even thought in their mind, like, someday I might be a stepdad. And once they hit a certain age, again, for Taos, it was 31, the way he said it, he thinks he's more likely to be a stepdad than he is a real dad. And man, it just kind of brought a new perspective on this show and the people that I can reach, the information that I could put out. And for those men that are breaking 30, early 30s, maybe you're in your mid 30s, you probably are more likely to be a stepdad than you are going to be a biodad. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Hell, I was 31, 32 when my wife and I re-met, and I kind of jumped into this world and started on my journey. And, for my mom wanted me to have my own kids. And then I found out that I couldn't. And I was devastated. But at the same point, like the kids that I have now, when you hear me speak about my children, you would never know that they were my stepchildren. Now, if you look at them, sure, you could probably figure that one out. But you would never know because I speak about them as if they're mine. And so for the men out there that are breaking their 30s that have not found that one yet, that are probably more likely to be a stepdad than you are going to be a biodad, this is your opportunity. This is such a great opportunity for you to start learning now about all of the hypocrisy and all of the wrong labels that you are going to either hear, see, or read. Because in general, you know as well as I do that stepdads in general have such a bad rap. Like, we are portrayed in films as the evil guy, the molester, the alcoholic, never as a strong father figure who's a great leader and and is good with kids. For some reason, I guess Hollywood hasn't deemed that watchable. But but yeah, so men, this is a great time to start learning. This is a great time to start learning so you can get rid of that ignorance as you are going to have when you step into the relationship that you're going to step into, because immediately you're going to think, okay, I'm going to date this girl, she's got a kid, and then you'll tell your friends and you'll tell your family and you'll tell the world. And you'll seek advice like, okay, she's got a kid, what should I do? How should I handle this? And the majority of the people will tell you, let the mom do all the work, and let the mom's the discipliner. You're just kind of there, and then you'll get in your own head, which is more along the lines of, you know, is she going to accept me, or is he going to accept me? Will the child accept me as the leader? Will the mom allow me to be that father figure, or is she going to consistently keep me at arm's length? Because that's what the bio moms do, right? The bio moms who separate from bio dad, and now they are searching for love. And along comes, let's call him Taos. I'm going to use you, Taos. Let's call him Taos. Along comes Taos, and he's got great intent. He's a good guy. He's got a big heart. He's loving. He's caring. He's kind. But to the bio mom, that doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is the protection of their child, which is, I mean, hello, that's written in our DNA. That's nature. So the mothers, bio moms will keep us at arm's length, or at arm's distance. And so now it is the job of the soon-to-be stepdad, soon-to-be significant other, soon-to-be leader in the home, however you want to fill that title in, right? It's now our job to put on our hurdling shoes and begin. So a lot of the issues that you are going to be dealing with is going to be the ignorance of the old generation, the old guard is what I call them, the old generation who see stepdads as evil. You're going to be dealing with the ignorance of friends and family who are going to tell you, what are you doing? You know how many times I heard, what are you doing? Like, she's got 5 kids. What are you doing? Like get out. It's too much. The phrase I like to hear, or I hear all the time, I heard all the time, was you're a better man than I am. I am. Sorry, I am a better man than you are, because I trained my mind and I trained my thought, my thinking, so that I was able to hear what I wanted to hear, and I was aware of all the stupidity around me. I was aware of all the ignorance around me. I was aware of all of the individuals that just, for some reason or another, didn't want to see me win. And that's okay. I need that. I needed that push. I needed that, it's like when a plane takes off, it needs resistance. I needed that resistance. And for Taos, or remember, Taos, I'm using you as an example. For Taos, you need that resistance. If it's easy, you are going to find it more difficult as you progress forward, right? So you want that resistance. You want to learn about you. You want to learn about how you're going to be as a dad, how you're going to be as a leader, how you're going to be as a husband, how you're going to be as a boyfriend. How you want to start learning more about yourself, so that when you do get put into scenarios and situations, you're able to handle it in a way that's progressive, that is educational, that is positive, that provides value and worth. And there are so many stepdads, or men that could have been stepdads, that never had the opportunity to get to that point, because, like I spoke earlier, they have that one foot out the door, or bio mom kept them the arm's length, just kept going and going and going until he was pushed away. They went about the process backwards. They wanted to get the acceptance of the child so bad, they kind of went all in, and they bought them everything, gifts, and they thought that was going to win them over. And then they lost focus on their relationship with their significant other. More important, they never worked on themselves. So what happened was, sure, let's just say in this scenario, the kid was like, man, I love this guy. He buys me everything, absolutely, I'll accept you. And and I'll talk to you, but then the first time something goes another direction where there's discipline that needs to happen, you will not be ready for it because you are going to react the way you were disciplined because you didn't properly prepare. Always work on yourself first, then you work on your relationship, then you worry about the kids. Trust me when I tell you that the reason that it worked for me is because my girls and my son saw me and saw my relationship with mom and saw how much I cared and loved for her. And it helped bring down those walls so that they could let me in and we could begin that work and that process of trust. And that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to build trust. That's it. Plain and simple, build trust. But there's a lot of ways to build trust. You have to build trust with the kids. You have to build trust with your significant other. More important, you have to start building trust with you. Do you trust yourself to be there? Can you get rid of your old habits and vices? Can you be the leader that you've always wanted to be, the dad that you always want to be? Some of the stepdads out there, I am very aware that you didn't even have a dad growing up. So you have no idea what to do. So you are going to literally mimic the men or the not even the men, the power figures in your life and how they reacted and acted. And you are going to go that direction. So I just thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that Taos, first, Cardigan Cowboy. How cool is that? That name, Cardigan Cowboy. Think about that. That's literally a split down the middle. Rough, rugged, can sleep on the ground under the stars. And on the flip side of that coin, you can dress in a nice suit and go to a steak dinner. And what he's representing with the Cardigan Cowboy, what he's representing is that, like he said, is that cowboy grit, meaning like that ability to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Never give up, never surrender. And it applies to so many different parts in our life. But when he said, man, he said, Franco, I'm 31, so I know I'm more likely to be a stepdad than I'm going to be a bio dad. And just hit me because there's so many more men that I could talk to and that I can reach and that I can discuss how to properly go through this journey. It's tough, guys. It's not easy at all. And if you cannot learn to trust yourself, if you can't learn to start mastering your routines and habits in your own self, and then if you can't build and that trust and that communication with your significant other to the point where it's unbreakable, and then it becomes a team. I mean, I stress that so much. We always hear about how bio mom or bio dad is the only ones that can discipline, and it totally, like, you guys know how I feel. You know how I feel. It feels like you're like this, right? Feels like your arms are wrapped behind your back, and you can't do much. Then you start to resent them. Then you start to resent the whole scenario, and before you know it, you're gone. Get on equal planes. Become a teamwork. And the only way to do that is to sit down with your significant other, plan it out. Come up with goals for your family, goals for your love life, goals for yourself. Hold each other accountable and responsible. Go back to the beginning where I tell you to work on you. Start reading books. Start listening to videos. Stop listening to the stupidity. Too many of you just follow the crowd and listen to the others. And then you cry on Valentine's Day because you're lonely. You just got to work on that. You got to work on yourself. And the most important, let me rephrase this. What's really important is to understand this. Once you're working on yourself and you feel comfortable and you got that teamwork and you're just locked in. When you move to the children, whether it's 1 or 5, when you move, patience, respect, remember walls, get to know who they are, love languages, communicate with them properly, interests, be interested in what they're interested in, but general interest, like be actually interested in it, as opposed to just saying you're interested because you're trying to sound cool, I guess. I don't know. But that's really important. That's really important to understand that that's how you communicate and connect with them. Then you build that trust. And then when you build that trust, guys, let me just tell you, in our house, it's equal discipline. We don't spank, we don't hit, we don't do anything that happened to me. If I disciplined my children now the way I was disciplined, I'd be in prison. We don't need to do any of that. There's better ways to communicate with your kids that actually have long-lasting effect and will be a positive step towards their progression to parenthood. That's our job, gentlemen. That's our job, biomoms. Our job is to keep them alive long enough so they can take care of themselves. And if you're anything like me, you didn't start taking care of yourself until you were way past your mid-20s. Anyway, so I wanted to thank Taos and the Cardigan Cowboy and the whole idea, and just thank you for saying what you said today about being in your 30s, early 30s, or into your mid 30s, but just being where you are now in your life and being aware of that you're more likely to be a step parent than you are a bio parent. And that my job didn't just stop at individuals that were already doing this. My job goes further than that. My job goes to the gentlemen that are going to be stepdads. My job is for the gentlemen that aren't even aware that they're being a stepdad is in their future, right? That's my job. My job is to build this platform so that I can communicate properly with the gentlemen. So when they step in, they win, or they at least have a better chance of winning, as opposed to having all the elements against them and then they quit. Let me just tell you, just so you guys know, the stepdads that quit and walked away, do you think that they just wanted to? Do you think they woke up one morning and was like, I'm out? No, it was a compounded build-up of, the best way I can say it is just a bunch of ignorant bullshit that led them to that decision. So stepdads, future stepdads, Taos, thank you guys very much for just allowing me to speak on this platform. And for the gentlemen that are listening to this that aren't stepdads or not even thinking about being a stepdad, if you do get there, come back to these episodes. They're useful, they're helpful, trust me, because I'm at a position and a place in my life right now where I'm still growing, I'm still building. I have to still do the things on my end so then I could give them to you guys. It's like that picture, where success is not just reaching the top, it's reaching back and pulling others up. And that's my goal for the Professional Stepdad Show. My goal is to build you up and bring you up so that you have a better chance of success, to provide you with enough information that you can make positive, progressive steps forward in your journey. Anyway, okay, again, please guys, if you have not yet, please like, subscribe, share. If you have not, or if you haven't found it yet, I'm going to put the link to the Cardigan Cowboy podcast here. You can find it at iTunes. You can find it on, I think he said on, not SoundCloud. What's that other one? I can't remember what the name of it is, but you can find it on Apple. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify. That's what it is. iTunes, Spotify. I think his YouTube show is still up, but he's gonna now have more shows. You should see this guy, man. This guy's got so much energy. You guys are gonna love him. Again, thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart. The Professional Stepdad Show. I'll talk to you guys soon.